happy Tuesday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1036. Happy Tuesday. Thanksgiving week. I've got a lot of irons in the fire this week. We're hosting. It's getting to, I feel like, never hosted a holiday before. This is my first, popping the cherry on holiday hosting. I feel like Clark Griswold. We've got family like trickling in. Come here today, tomorrow, the next day. Culmination of Thanksgiving Day on Thursday. Friday, we'll have another dinner, the leftover dinner. I've got to go to the Sheraton, get stuff ready for Saturday, the card show on Saturday. Going to be a busy week. Made busier because yesterday I needed a plan B to get new inventory. Plan A was Chicago Sports Spectacular. Dig through bargain boxes, plenty of inventory. Fortunately, last week, buddy of mine reached out. We've been doing bulk deals for 5 years now. Unfortunately, he said, hey, I'm moving to Indiana. And so he's like, I got to get rid of, a bunch of my cards. He's only keeping the good stuff. So he's like, I got like 5 boxes. He's like, they're great for quarter and dollar boxes. I'm like, hey, I'm your guy. So I went and we scheduled to do that Monday, which was yesterday. So I did go down and get that. I'm going to talk about restocking my bargain boxes. I'm going to talk about how did I get this guy? How did we come together in a buy sell bulk relationship? I'm going to talk about how I have started sorting through it. How do you go through 25,000 cards? And I'm going to talk about where do they go? How do you know? That's what I always get. How do you know? How do you know there's not a $100 card in there? Well, it's a pretty good chance there's not. There could be. I'm not saying there's not, but there's a really good chance there's not a $100 card in my 25-cent box. But I will say there are cards, and I'm going to share a couple of examples that you would have no idea what they're worth. And that, my friends, is where you can find some really good deals when you're buying in bulk. You've got to know things that most people don't know. And that's kind of a strategy when you're digging through bargain boxes. What's everybody else passing on that could be worth $20, $100, $200? So they are out there, and they're in products that you would be like mind blown, because I was when I first found out. So I'm going to share a couple of examples on restocking the bargain boxes. So I'll have some fresh bargain boxes this Saturday, which was my goal because I don't think I restocked the last 2 card shows. So I needed to get some new fresh inventory in there. So I guess I did have new inventory for the Rockford show because those were all dime boxes that I had bought out from a dealer at the last Madison show. So Madison Card Show is this Saturday. Let's get that banner scrolling. It's this Saturday, November 25th, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. We are not just sold out, we are overbooked. So I've got to bring my own table. I think I was able to calm it down to just one oversold table that I can just bring in an extra. Because basically when I'm sold out, like I'm literally sold out of tables. That's all that the Sheraton has. So I can get a little wiggle room. I can set up one of those huge banquet tables, and there's enough space in the downstairs Williamson ballroom that I can fit one of those. Not ideal, but I've got a 6 or 8 foot table that I can bring in, that I will bring in this weekend. And then I'm down to, if people want to get in, there's a couple spots where if you bring your own table, I can get you a spot. So let me know. But otherwise, sold out show this Saturday. I will take bookings starting now for the December 30th show. I do have, and this is what's great. December 30th, I've got at least 2 or 3 of my regular dealers, 3 or 4 so far, that are like, I can't do December 30th, or I'm taking, November, December off. I'll be back doing shows in January. thing is, I've got some guys coming back that will miss this weekend. Gary George, great vintage dealer. Tony from Oak Creek, not going to be set up this Saturday, but they'll be back in December. So that's great that we have, dealers that can't do it this month, but they can do it next month. So I will take bookings for December 30th. If you're interested in a table for this weekend, hit me up. There's always some movement the week of the show. Late cancels. Today's Tuesday. It's a holiday, so I kind of expect a few more of that. I try to keep it. I should probably just oversell it, take that risk. Although that backfired 1 month. My wife was like, "What if everybody shows up, nobody cancels?" I'm like, "That's never going to happen. That's never happened. It'll never happen. Never say never." It happened, and I had to have an emergency meeting at the Sheraton 2 days before the show. Hey, is there any way you can get 12 more tables? Can we do 140 in here? I think we broke some fire code that month. So that was like my one get out of jail free card from the Sheraton. They were able, for some reason, to scrounge up some extra tables. It's like, okay, if you have this many tables, but then some months are like, we don't have any more tables. And it's like, but we got 140 in here 1 month. Now I'm at 125. You're saying you don't have any more. I don't get it. I'd like to just go to where they store their tape. Can I just do like a walkthrough? I want to count all your tables. So that's this Saturday, Madison Card Show. Free admission, 9 to 3. I'll be set up at my tables will be ready to be dug through at 7 a.m. So if you want to come early and dig through my new stuff and get there at 7, I'll take your money before the show hours officially open. There's no official hours. 9 to 3 is a guide that we use. So hope to see you out at the Sheraton this Saturday. What else is going on? We need groceries. I had peanut butter and jelly for dinner last night. Feel like I'm in my 20s. Although it's like, is this what old age is going to be like? I guess I'm halfway there, having a midlife crisis. Is this old age like eating peanut butter and jelly for dinner and then going to bed at 9? Like that's what I've done like the last couple nights. Although I had a tuna sandwich. Jesus Christ, I'm like 21 years old again. I had tuna sandwich Sunday night. I had peanut butter and jelly last night, and I'm like looking through. I'm like, we don't have any food. I thank goodness it's Thanksgiving. We'll have plenty of food. Here I am complaining about my peanut butter and jelly and my tuna sandwich here on Tuesday of Thanksgiving week. By Thursday, I'll be gorged. We're going out to dinner tonight. Uncle Alan's coming in today. So we've got aunt and uncle in town doing dinner tonight down at Sardine downtown. I like Sardine. They've got a nice menu. Got good steak frites. I'm not sure if I'm probably going to go steak frites tonight. I've had mixed results with the sardine steak frites. Usually they're good, but a couple times they were like just salty and not good. Like, this is bad. Like, if I were the type of person to be like, this is bad, take it back, I would do that. I am not. I will eat it. If there's a turd on my plate, I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll eat around it. Like, I will not take anything back. Maybe if there is like feces on my plate, that may trigger me to say, hey, there's poop on my plate. It's kind of smelly. Can you get this out of here? That might trigger me to, yoo-hoo, excuse me, can I have a new steak frite? But otherwise, it's like, nope, I'll just eat it. If there's hair, I'll eat around it. I don't give a shit. So my wife and my mother-in-law, on the other hand, my wife's not, my mother-in-law is it's embarrassing almost. Not embarrassing. I shouldn't say that. But she will, if it's like 1 degree too cold or 1 degree too warm, she's like, send it back, heat it up. I need it at 147 degrees. It's at 146. Sardine tonight. So, hey, maybe I'll have something fun to talk about tomorrow morning. Dinner at Sardine. So, what else is going on? Oh, we've got snow. It's actually snowing right now. If I had a camera to turn around, I would do it. It's actually snowing. It's actively snowing here in Madison, Wisconsin 2 days ago. In fact, I don't know. When I take Biscuit for a walk, I haven't worn a jacket to take Biscuit for a walk like this 20, what do you call it? Like, because it's not winter yet. This fall, I guess that's correct. This fall, I've not worn it, like maybe twice. I've worn a jacket. Like I wear hoodies, but it's not cold enough. Usually by now, middle November, like we've been wearing jackets for a month at least. Maybe twice, 3 times. We've been lucky, which makes me fear the actual winter months. The actual winter. What's it going to be like? So, yeah, we've got snow. We've got snow on the ground. It's sticking. So it's pretty, I guess. I'm okay with snow right now. It's November 21st. It can snow. It's Thanksgiving. It's very festive. Thanksgiving is a very festive. I feel like Thanksgiving is more Christmassy than Christmas. Christmas is just like, oh my God, just get it over with. But Thanksgiving is like the beginning. For most people, it's like the beginning of the Christmas season. Unless you're a sociopath like me that love the Hallmark Christmas movies in middle of October. It's like, yeah, fire up the Christmas music on November 1st. I'm cool. Most people gotta wait till after Thanksgiving. But it's like, come on, really? You don't celebrate. Christmas is a season. Thanksgiving isn't a season. I guess if you want to celebrate all November long Thanksgiving, but what do? I'm thankful for this. Okay, I guess you can do that. But that's not fun. Christmas is fun. Movies and music and fun. Oh my. There's one good Thanksgiving movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's the only good Thanksgiving movie. There's a reason they don't make Thanksgiving movies. There's a reason there's no Thanksgiving songs. There's probably, what's the Tom the Turkey or whatever? I think there's a Thanksgiving song. I think there's a scary Thanksgiving movie, though, coming out. I think it's called Thanksgiving. But hey, I'm down for some snow this week. I love this week because of college basketball. There's great college basketball on. I was watching the Badgers, man. They've laid some eggs this year. They were 2-2. They're 3-2 now. 2-2. Played Virginia. Tony Bennett, former Badger assistant coach. Played Tony Bennett and the Virginia Cavaliers. Coasted. I think Virginia got within 5 points, but Wisconsin just nailed a couple threes. That's my fear, though, with the Badgers basketball team is win or lose on the three. Live or die on the three. Because that'll bite you. If you rely on the three-pointer too much, that'll bite you. So, big win for the Badgers. I was watching. Kansas was on. Gonzaga, Purdue. I had that game on. I was flipping through. I was sorting cards from yesterday's pickup and had some college basketball on. Love me. This is my second favorite week when it comes to basketball. Of course, March Madness opening round. The first 2-round weekend, that Thursday through Sunday, that's a lot of fun. That's the most fun. This is the second most fun for me as a college basketball fan because you get some great matchups. You get basketball on. There's probably a game on. Well, not quite yet. It's 7 a.m. But there's probably like a 10 a.m. game on. Let's look at the schedule. I can fire up. I'll be in here. Ooh, we got some college basketball. And it might be Chaminade versus Mayville State. But hey, it's basketball. All right. Today, my Leathernecks are on tonight. They play Valparaiso. All conferences. Oh, yeah, we got 10 a.m. We got Long Beach State against Iona at 10 a.m. See, those are the type of games that get played at 10 a.m. We got Florida International against Loyola Marymount at 10 a.m. We got a 10:30 game, Binghamton versus Sacred Heart. We've got 11 o'clock games, Wilmington versus Appalachian State. Somebody, I think, in the chat's from Appalachian State. Well, where that's located. Boone, North Carolina. Prairie View against Eastern Kentucky. I mean, these are some, you want something to watch at lunch, you can tune into Texas State versus McNeese State. Little post lunch, you got Gonzaga Syracuse. That's a 1:30 tip off. How about that? You got number 18 Colorado against Florida State at 3:00. You got Chaminade 4:00 tipping off against UCLA. It was funny in one of the halftime shows last night. They're talking about Chaminade is not going to beat Kansas. Kansas, number 1 in the country. They're not going to Chaminade. And it's like, are you young? Like, and I think, well, the guy actually, I think he was my age. I don't know who it was, but somebody on the panel was like, hey, wait, hold up. The Maui Invitational was created because Chaminade beat number 1 back in 1982, 83, somewhere in there. That's the reason there's a Maui Invitational. Chaminade shocked the nation. Who'd they beat? Was it Virginia? I think it was Ralph Sampson. Ralph Sampson in Virginia back in 82 or 83. I think it was 82. Chaminade out in Hawaii. So, well, that's what I had for today. Oh, no. We're going to talk baseball cards. We're going to get to the chat. We're going to talk about bargain boxes. I'm restocking bargain boxes. How did I come across this particular seller? How did I sort them? Because I did most of the sorting last night. There was only like 25,000 cards, which the funny thing is, my wife said, I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, on Sunday night, I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, I've got to go pick up some cards down in Sterling tomorrow. So I'll be gone like middle of the day. And she just kind of side eyes me and she goes, how many cards? And I'm like, oh, not many. And by not many is 25,000, which to a lot of people, that's a lot of cards. That's like more cards than most people probably have. 25,000, just a drop in the bucket. Like you couldn't even, if I put 25,000 cards in my base, like you would have no clue. You could put 100,000 cards and you like, no, it's just another 100,000 cards. So it's funny because this is how far we've come in my collecting and our marriage and relationship. When my wife and I first started dating, I had probably 25,000 cards in my apartment, maybe 40,000. She's like, oh my God, that's the most baseball cards I've ever seen in my life. And now here we are, 3 million. And that 25,000 that was the most you'd ever seen in your life. Who would have known that 10 years later, I'd be going and picking up that amount of cards and it'd be like, oh, just another couple boxes. That's all. So about 25,000 because they're packed tight. There were 4 5-row boxes packed all the way tight, a 4-row box packed tight, and then like an 800 count box. Now the 4-row box was like $1 and not dollar box, cereal, all serial numbers and like stuff like that, all serial numbered. So I'll talk about that. Let's talk about the chat. Let's get to the chat first. Shane's in the house. He's the first one here. What's up, Shane? Good morning to you. Set cards. What's happening? Good morning. Get that coffee. Good morning, David. What's going on? Donald's in the house. Good morning. Dave is here. What's happening? A collector's dream. Hello, everybody. Cooter, what's up? Good morning. Dan is here. I gave up listening to 93.9 light streaming Christmas music for this. Better be worth it. Oh, see, Dan's streaming some Christmas music. Mark Marinello, what's going on? Good morning. Victor's in the house. Good morning. Thanksgiving week. Happy Tuesday. Grinding for Good is here. Flawed Thinker in the house. What's going on? Philly Joe. Red Light 34 is here. James. He's like, oh, restocking the bargain boxes. You betcha. You betcha. Not much I know you're a Bowman guy. You're a prospect guy. Not much Bowman in this, but a lot of I know Shane's coming down to Madison from Iowa this weekend. He's going to be digging through the bargain boxes. So I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that he'll be interested in. Not much Bowman though, but a lot of superstars and Hall of Famers and good stuff. A lot of the stuff, and here's the thing, a lot of the stuff that's in this, it's like, should I put this in a 25-cent box? It's like, it's one of those where it's like, if I put it on and this is a conundrum, and I'm going to talk more about this here as we get through the chat, but one of my conundrums is, do I put this in a quarter box? a dollar box, or do I put it on eBay? And sometimes something I would put in my quarter box, I'll just put on eBay because I know it's going to be a fast transaction. I'll make a little bit more money. Also, typically in the quarter box, if I've got guys that are, James, Shane, they're not paying 25 cents a card, even 20 cents a card. So it's like, do I want to get rid of this for 15 cents when I know I can flip it on eBay and make 50 cents? But you never know. So, and I pulled out some, one of my guys, Mike, I pulled about $15 worth of like Aaron Rodgers, couple Trouts, couple Acuñas, mostly Aaron Rodgers. So that's a nice little, that's easy money. Like, oh, here's the total. So some good stuff. We'll talk more about it. Dan says, I had PBSP the other day. Money is tight this week. Guess SP. I have no idea. PBSP. I have no idea what that means. Sal Dougie, what's up? Good morning. Red Light picked up 16 bulk boxes. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Flawed Thinker says, watched some Definitive get open last night. Pretty sure I could do a lot better for almost $3,000 a box. Yeah, I'm not down with the gambles on those high-end products. Not for me. I mean, Bowman is a high-end product, which for most people, Bowman is at freaking $300-$400. I think, what did Bowman Draft come out at? Almost $500 for a hobby? Fuck that. I don't even know at those prices. I don't even know if I'll buy into team breaks because because the Cubs are always one of the most expensive teams in a break. And it's like, do I want to pay that much? We'll see. I think we're still a few weeks out from Bowman Draft. So we'll see. Depends on the price. Red Light says, hit that like button. Thank you, sir. Sal Dougie says, how many oysters are you going to put down at Sardine? I've never had oysters at Sardine. Never had oysters. Let's look at the Sardine menu. Sardine, Madison. Oh, shit. What did I do? Oh, no. Okay. Sardine, Madison. I hit the F11 button. Dinner menu. Oh, it says my connection's not private. Oh, Sardine, Madison. It's what the fuck? Come on. Sardine. How do I get to your website? Huh. I can't get to the Sardine website. I typed in, let's type in menu. Maybe I can find a different. Maybe it's on like Yelp or something. That's the website. Website. All menus. Here we go. Let's see. Let's share the screen. So let's see what should I have for dinner tonight at Sardine? Look at the hors d'oeuvres. Look at some of the wacky names they got. Piccolo Frito. Plateau du fromage. Nami Moon Farm chicken liver toast. That sounds disgusting. Okay, let's move on. Petite plates. No, we want the frickin' entree, man. All right. Pan-seared whitefish? No, thank you. Seared salmon? Nope. Moulet frites. White wine? Promenade. See, do I sound like a bumpkin reading this menu. Well, that sucks too. All right, come on. Is this the right menu? 608 area code. This is the right menu. Brunch. Entrees brunch. Where's the frickin' dinner menu? This better not be it. Where's the frickin' steak at? Huh. All right. Nothing looks good on this. If this is what I have to choose from for dinner tonight, I don't know what I'm going with. Maybe the roasted local pork. Because I'm not in the mood for fish. I don't even know what chucruti garni is. I don't want linguine. Lamb. I don't know. So that menu looks like, oh, shit. They've got to have steak frites. That's like their thing. That doesn't look like the right menu. Shane says to Dan, are you eating PB and sausage patty sandwiches? Ooh, yeah. Mark says, nothing beats a good PB&J. I have it for breakfast once in a while. When I work late, I'll have some scrambled egg whites and toast. I thought about making some eggs last night, but it's like, I was lazy. Like, I'm just going to do a sandwich. PB&J. Philly Joe says, never send anything back. You never know what they will do to it. Oh, yeah, at a restaurant. Yeah. Yeah. What are they going to do? Grinding for good. LOL feces. Got to set a boundary somewhere. Right. That's my boundary. Poop on the plate. Keep the snow up north, please. I'm okay with it right now. I'm okay with like this went November 21st through January 2nd. And then I just want it to gradually warm up. I want a season because I want to appreciate the warm weather. January can be cold, maybe a snowfall here and there, but I don't want to go out and shovel. February, you can like gradually get warmer. I want February to be like in the 40s. And then I want March to be in like the 60s. And then I want April through, you know what? I shouldn't live in Wisconsin if that's what I want. I should be in like San Diego. Victor says it's pouring rain at 44 degrees. Hopefully it stays. We're at 34. Rain and snow, it says. So the drive time commute could get a little slippery out there. Collector's Dream says 75 in South Florida, warming up for Thanksgiving. And that's where my wife's aunt and uncle, that's where they're coming in from, South Florida. So Uncle Alan probably at the airport right now, 75 degrees, and he's going to land and there's going to be snow on the ground. And Uncle Alan's going to not be happy because he wants it like 95 degrees every day, which, hey, I don't blame him. Shane says live or die on the 3 is college basketball, not just the Badgers. That's true. A lot of teams live and die by the 3, more so Wisconsin. Mark says we have our Christmas trees up already. 1 in the bedroom, 1 in the living room. Going to do the decorations outside this weekend. Luckily, my girlfriend is a big Christmas person like me. There you go. See, I enjoy Christmas decorations on other people's houses. I want them to do the work. I don't want to do the work. I am really lazy, aren't I? I don't want to put Christmas decorations up. I'll do a tree. We have a wreath. We have some other like little snowfall winter things that go up during the season. Stockings on the fireplace. But I'm not going outside and decorating trees and putting up lights. And when I was driving back from Sterling yesterday, I saw people on like this 2-story house, like up top, like stapling Christmas. Like that looks awful. It looks pretty as a passerby, like, hey, thank you for putting Christmas lights up, but I don't want to do that myself. Neighbor across the street has a beautiful Christmas display. I want my neighbors to do it, and I want to be the bah humbug. So not that I want to be the bah humbug, I just choose not to do the work that goes into it. They have companies that you can hire to like decorate you rent. It's freaking expensive though. It's like, no, thank you. They'll come put it up, take it down. You can rent like their own stuff. I'll be the bah humbug on the block. Peter's in the house. What's up, Peter? Good morning. John Larson is here. I'm kind of new at this. I've got about 5,000 sports cards posted on eBay so far. I have about 10,000 Junk Wax era baseball cards. Do I post them? No. Or do I just pick out the superstars and post them? Pick out the superstars. Do not post commons. You can, but you're just going to waste listings. So post the superstars. I'm going to tell you if it's Junk Wax era, the sell-through rate is it's gonna kind of clog up your listings. You're gonna want to list cards that move. If you have listings to piss away, then it's okay. But if you're like if you have to be strategic, if you only get 10,000 free listings and you're at 9,000, you got to be strategic with that last 1,000. Or really, you've always got to be strategic with what you list. Gone are the days where you can list a bunch of Junk Wax era commons and they sell through pretty quick, not quickly, but they sell through. Now they're not really selling through. So you have to be strategic on what you list. Junk wax, I would just avoid. Stars, you can list those because, sometimes you'll get, every once in a while I'll get somebody that buys 30 Tom Glavine cards. It's like, oh, wow, that was fun. Let's run it back. Who else can I sell? Flawed Thinker says, congrats to the UNC field hockey head coach. She's 23 and a former player. She has won 5 NCAA titles in a row. Holy crap. That's pretty amazing. Johnny M says, good morning. My wife no longer asks how many cards are in the lot I'm buying, right? My wife does fear that I'll bring home like a truckload, which actually is kind of common. When they start seeping, when they start spilling out into out of my spaces, that's when she gets concerned. PBSP, peanut butter and strawberry preserves. Hey, I think that's exactly what I had for dinner last night. I went chunky peanut butter. I get super chunky peanut butter, like pieces of peanuts in my peanut butter. I don't like cream. My wife gets creamy and it's like fat free. It's disgusting. It's the worst. It's like poop. It's like if I've never eaten poop, but I bet this fat-free peanut butter, smooth, creamy peanut butter, I bet if I tasted poop, it might be similar to this peanut butter that my wife gets. I'm like, oh my, I couldn't, I'm gagging thinking about that peanut butter more than I'm gagging thinking about eating poop. That's how bad that peanut butter was. But I think that's what I had last night. Not poop, but peanut butter and strawberry preserves. I like sometimes getting the fancy preserves. Like my mother-in-law goes up to Door County and brings back like cherry everything because Door County's famous for their cherries. So like cherry preserves, which is good. Apple butter. I'm a fan of apple butter. Dan says, Dan says, good morning. I sent a 60% off coupon to people who have bought from me or followed me on 10 or more cards, and I had a 110 card order last night. That's sweet. That is very sweet. I'm going to tell you how important it is to send out offers and just making touches. So my sales weekend was pretty shitty. Saturday was my low. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. Saturday was my lowest sales day since I was out of town for the National in July. And there's a correlation. I was out of town Saturday, but I also didn't really do anything on eBay. I left early in the morning, so I wasn't in the eBay sales portal. I wasn't shipping in the morning. I did not send any offers. I did not really respond to any offers. I basically didn't do anything with eBay on Saturday, which I think led to a really ridiculously low sales day. Yesterday, I went back and I had a bunch of listings to send offers. And yesterday, boom, all of a sudden, one of the best sales days I've had in the last month, just from simply sending offers. I sent an offer out. One of the watchers was one of the Topps Chrome NPB cards. I think it was a $10. It was one of the color refractors I had listed for $10. And I just do a flat 10% when I send offers now because sometimes I'll get a listing that's $1.50. So I sell it for $1.35 and I'm taking probably a small loss on that. But sometimes it's a $10 card that, I might have sent a $7.50 offer or $8. So it all kind of balances out. And some reason I still make a lot of sales on 10% off offers. And one of them led to like a $60 or $70 sale on the transaction because the buyer accepted my offer, 10% off. So it was $9 on the color refractor. He bought my Yamamoto Chrome NPB that sold for $30. And he bought a couple other NPB Chromes. So it was like probably a $50 or $60 sale just from sending a 10% offer out. So it's important. And some people, I don't understand. Some people don't send offers out. They're like, well, I'm priced. This is my price. Well, sometimes just the slightest nudge, price your stuff. Maybe if that's your price it 10% higher, send out a 10% off coupon. You might actually move it. Flawed Thinker says, does anybody here ship international? I had a bad experience years ago and haven't done it since, but I heard that eBay is fixing the shipping issue. Can you still do PWE, and what's the cost? I think this was brought up in a previous episode last week. I do the global shipping, and I just, do I lose out on potential international customers with that? Yes, I'm sure I do, because of the cost. It's much more for the buyer, because they have to pay eBay and they have to cover all that customs bullshit. So do I lose customers? Probably, but I don't have to deal with the international, and I don't want to deal with all that crap. So I just have eBay deal with all that crap. So I use global shipping. Brian says, good morning. Going to try and get Casey's pizza for breakfast. My 3-year-old won't go for that and will fight me. It's going to be a battle. What? Well, 3 years old, probably, are they in the stage where it's like, I want sugar, the sugary cereals? Maybe that's what it is. Because I probably wouldn't have been down, because when you're a kid, you want sweet for breakfast. And then sometimes, I went from sweet for breakfast to savory for breakfast as I got older. Now it's like, sugary cereal does nothing for me in the morning. But a Casey's pizza, oh my God. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Biscuits and gravy, give it to me. But sugary cereal, ew. I don't want that. I used to drink Mountain Dew. In my early days of radio, I would drink Mountain Dew at 7 a.m. Oh my God. The thought of drinking Mountain Dew at any time of the day makes me want to throw up. Mountain Dew, disgusting. I used to live on that shit. Now I find it revolting. Harlan in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Dan, I think, is answering Flawed Thinker. Think the global shipping program from eBay is where it's at. You just pay domestic shipping, and then eBay and the buyer takes care of the rest. Exactly. That's what I use. I do know if you opt out of that program, you're probably going to get more international customers, but you also have to do more work. So that's the pay. That's the not the payoff, but the whatever. Mark says, I hate seared food. It tastes like they set the meat on fire. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that either. What was on the menu that was seared? Seared salmon and pan-seared whitefish, especially on fish. Card Hobbyist says, be nice to the people that handle or make your food. Agree. Shane says to the Flawed Thinker, I do, and no problems yet. You ship to an eBay building and then they do the custom. So that's the global ship. So Shane also uses the global shipping along with Dan, and that's what I use as well. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the global shipping, but you do lose some customers because of the price for the buyer. Flawed Thinker says, our snow here in Northern Virginia is always from late January to late March. Sometimes we get Halloween snow. We had 4 or 5 inches a couple of years ago on Halloween. Typically, our biggest snowfalls are in January. Typically, that's kind of the same. Our biggest snowfalls are mid-January to mid-March and sometimes April. Yeah, I don't know if it was the same year, but we had 8 inches of snow at the end, the third week of fucking April. Bullshit. That's what it is. Bullshit. But yeah, I think most of our big snowfalls come in January, February. And then there was always my dad would always say, we'd have a snow. He's like, oh, there's going to be one more. It'd be March 1st. It's hey, March, it came in like a lamb. Yay, spring is here. And my dad, the wise old man, would say, just wait. We've got one more big snowstorm coming. And he was right. Usually the end of March, we'd get a big old snowfall in Northern Illinois. Now here in Madison and in Wisconsin, it's frickin' April. I think we avoided April snowfalls in 2023, but I think 2022 we might have had. I know the big one we had, the 8 inches at the end of April, was we were living the first house my wife and I lived in, so that would have been 2015 or 2016, one of those years. Let's see. James says, no junk wax, lot the superstars. And that's another option. I've been doing the small lots, 8 cards, $5. Junk wax cards equals shipping protection for cards you ship out. It's another good way to use them. Bo took peanut butter in a terrible direction there. I sure did. Set Card says I send 5% offers. I'm curious what your results are on fight because 5% probably doesn't move the needle. I wouldn't think that moves the needle. I'm surprised 10% moves the needle, to be honest. But it does for me. It does. It's like shit because some of the stuff I send 10% offers on, I would have sent 25% offers on. It's like okay, made myself a little extra money. Flawed Thinker says, just got this feedback. Not sure if it's because of the note I leave with every order thanking them for the order or if I just did a good job. Oh, and here's the note. Best seller ever. Fastest shipping I've ever experienced. The best, most carefully secured packaging I've experienced. Great communication. A+ sale and seller. Wish every seller could be this exemplary. That's a fun one. That's a positive feedback you like to see. Dan says, do you send offers and then add the following, the follow-up coupon? I really like that functionality. No, I have not. I've not tried that. I've got to do, what have I added? What did I do? I need to send a new newsletter. I'm not automating my newsletter anymore. I'm doing it manually to give it more of a personal touch and to make it more timely. Like, hey, this is what's new in my eBay store, Topps Chrome in PB. Last week I sent out I've got player lots because that's what I was adding. Now I'm adding Topps Chrome and PB. And I guess archives. I listed some archives yesterday, the new ones. Brian says it is the sugar. There you go. Kids love their sugar. Card Hobbyist says people associate winter with Christmas, but midwinter is February. Yeah. And we think of summer as Memorial Day to Labor Day when, we're still Memorial Day. We're still a month away almost from actual summer. We think fall starts in mid-August because that's when we associate school and fall. We associate here cold, like November 1st. It's frickin' winter. 6 weeks away. Here, winter runs like November 1st to May 1st. We skip some seasons up here in the upper Midwest. That card says, I've actually been surprised how much 5% moves the needle for some. If anything, it gets the counter started. That's good. I like it. So I picked up some cards yesterday, 25,000 cards. So how did I come in? A lot of people, so I get common questions. So I wanted to kind of touch on some of the common questions I receive when it comes to purchasing bulk. Usually the first question, where do you find it? Like that's the biggest. I never find anything like that. How do you find it? And usually the answer is networking, like build relationships. And people, I don't like talking to, I don't like people. Well, I don't either, but it's important. Just get comfortable with it. It's like, well, if you don't want to do it, you're not going to get good. You're not going to find good deals, big bulk lots. So networking, and sometimes it's luck. In this particular yesterday, and we've been doing deals for 5 or 6 years now, and it was just kind of, sometimes it's luck. This particular instance, I shared a little bit of the background yesterday, was early on in my 1 million Cubs project. I'm collecting Cubs. Send me your 88 Donruss. I want them. I don't anymore. I don't want your Cubs now. But back then I wanted your 88 Donruss Cubs. And somebody had posted on Twitter that they had 50. Actually, it was more than 50. It probably was close to, I think it was about 200,000 cards. So I'm thinking 50,000. That's just like 6 5-row boxes, or 8 5 9 10 5-row boxes. Math's not good this morning. Like it was a lot more than 10. It was like 50 or 60 boxes. And he was just like, I'm throwing these away. Somebody's like, oh, hey, 1 million Cubs, we'll take the Cubs. And then he like responded back, if he comes and picks them up. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's probably in Florida, California, Virginia. Not going to go pick them up. So I clicked on his profile, Sterling, Illinois. Holy shit. I can go pick him up right now. That's 2 hours away. So I reach out. I'm like, hey, dude, I grew up like 30 minutes from Sterling. I live in Madison now. Like, are you serious? Like, what do you want for those cars? Like, I'll pay you. He's like, I don't want anything. Just come pick them up. That's all I want. Get them out of here. I'm like, done. So I had pulled, this was Oh, would this have been 2017, 18? Has it been? Yeah, yeah. I bet it was early 2018 because I started the project at the end of 2017. So I bet it was January, February of 2018. I had just pulled like a Harrison Bader autograph, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want for that Harrison Bader autograph?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're giving me like 200,000 cards. Like, you can have it." So, and he's like, "No, those are free." But he ended up throwing in, I brought the Harrison Bader autograph, and he threw in some like Cubs relics and a couple like low end autos for the area. I'm like, dude, he didn't have it. Like, and there was a ton of good shit in the boxes, and he had already cherry picked like the really good stuff. He was pulling like Giannis rookies out of these bulk boxes he was buying. And then I was still getting like, there was a Chris Middleton rookie Prism Silver, and at the height, I sold that card for like $300. And it had been sitting in my closet since 2018. So fast forward to like 2020 or early 2021. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. And so over the course of the next 5 years, up until yesterday, we do probably 1 or 2, 3 deals a year. And he'd be like, "Hey, I've got all these, like, I'm a set builder, but I don't want these anymore. I cherry picked all the, the Trouts and, whatever, the Acuna rookies and stuff like that." And there was still good stuff in there. So, and we've just kind of kept that line of communication open. If he has cards he wants to dump, he knows the guy to reach out to. I'll come get them. And so that's how you get deals to come together. But that's kind of started by dumb luck, like just a random tweet. That's how my Goodwill pallets started. A random tweet, like, whoa, look into it. 15 or 16 pallets later, here we are. So, unfortunately, he's moving to Indiana. So, but I think I've got all his the cards that he wanted to part with. The rest are in his own collection. So, he reached out to me last week. He's like, "Hey, I've got and I think I shared, I don't know, maybe I didn't share the photos, but there were 4 5-row boxes, a 4-row box, 800 count box." And he's like, "Hey, you do like dollar and quarter boxes, right? This stuff is perfect for that." And I'm looking through, I'm like, "Yeah, what's your price?" He's like, "I was hoping you'd make an offer." I'm like, what are you thinking?" So he threw out, he's like, 300. I'm like, "Okay, that's more than fair. I'll do that." So one of the boxes, kind of the money box, was a 4-row box of all serial numbered cards. I've only gone through 1 row, 1 out of the 4 rows. I pulled like 7 or 8 Cubs that'll go into the PC. There's stuff that probably will go into a quarter box. There's a lot that will go into a dollar box, and there's going to be some stuff that goes onto eBay. So a little bit of everything. And then some of the other boxes, I found some random stuff. So that's how deals come together. So I wanted to kind of break this down into 3 points. How this deal come together, and that's kind of networking. Once you buy something from somebody and you like follow up and be like, "Hey, I really like this bulk you had. If you come across anything, if you have anything, if you know others," and then that kind of gets the wheels turning. Going to card shows, number 1. That's the number 1 place I get the best deals. You can find deals almost anywhere, but on a consistent basis, if there's shows in your area, go to the bargain box guys, because bargain box guys want to flip their inventory. They've been cherry picked, and they'll give you deals. If you want some bulk boxes and you're going to be in Madison, I'll have some bulk boxes from my quarter boxes that have been cherry picked. Sell them for like $50 a box. And you can go through, and if you like it, like, "Hey, do you have any more?" The guy might be willing to sell you more. Or if he doesn't, he's got another buddy that he buys from or they buy from. It's just like the bargain box club. It's like this, it's this very elaborate root system where it's all intertwining. And, I've got some of the Jeff and Eric that sit next to me, that are set up next to me at the Madison show. They're buying from each other and from this guy and that guy. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I buy from him. I buy from him." And they're just like, they've just got this network, and it's just this root system of bargain box dealers. So once you start building rapport, networking with bargain box guys in your neck of the woods, you can get into that and start finding some good deals. So I want to share some of the stuff that not everybody is aware of what higher end cards can be, because they don't look high end, or they may be from a set that's like, oh, that's just garbage. Nay. Let's see. Let's go into the chat. Shane says, always send offers. Some eBay people are literally waiting for a 50 cent to $1 off offer. And I think that's what I run into. It's like, all of a sudden it's like, man, it's slow sales day. Boom, click send on, and I just bulk send it. All of a sudden the sales start trickling in. $4.99, I'll send out an offer of $4.25 to $4.50, and a lot of time they buy right away. Or on $9.99 cards, send $9. Here's another thing. I'll send my offers out, and then all of a sudden somebody buys it at full price. And I've heard many sellers say this. They're like, I sent this offer out and for 20% off. Say it's a $10 card. You send an $8 offer, and then 30 minutes later it sells for $10. It's like, how does this happen? But it does. It's fairly common. And it's not just with me. I've heard many other sellers state the same. Card Hobbyist says, people associate winter with Christmas, but midwinter is February. I've actually been surprised how much 5% moves the needle for some. If anything, it gets the counter started. Baseball card curmudgeon in the house. What is going on? So back to yesterday's haul. So this is a crazy week. Thanksgiving week. I was gone this weekend, so I've got a lot of stuff to ship. I've got to prepare for the Madison Card Show, and I want to have fresh inventory for this Saturday. So when I got home yesterday, I wanted to make sure that I hit the ground running, get this stuff sorted so I can have fresh bargain boxes for the Madison Card Show this Saturday. So I started sorting right away. Not all the time. Not always do I do this. Sometimes I let the stuff sit in my car, or it's in a shelf down here, and I've still got half of the last pallet because it's mostly just junk wax sitting on a shelf that, it's like, it's probably all crap, but I've got to look through it just in case, right? So last night I wanted to sit down. I wanted to go through all the boxes. I went through, it was like 9:30 by the time, you know how I am. I turned into a pumpkin at 9. So I stretched it out to 9:30 going through these boxes. I went through all of the 5-row boxes. I still have to go through the serial number box this morning, get that room cleaned up. So basically how I attacked these boxes. In the thumbnail, that's actually what my rec room floor looks like right now, because I've just got piles everywhere. I've got baseball piles for quarter boxes, football piles for quarter boxes, basketball piles for quarter boxes. I've got a couple piles for eBay. That's basically what I was doing. I got a pile for Cubs. Here's all the Cubs. Here's stuff that I'm going to put in quarter boxes. Here's a few that I'm going to put in dollar boxes. And the eBay pile is stuff that I know is going to sell for, a few bucks at least on eBay. So I start going through, and I come across a couple Jose Altuve cards from Topps opening day. Different images. Now, herein lies a hidden gem. Topps opening day. Image variation. Now, what do Topps image variations sell for? Base flagship Topps image variations. Couple bucks, right? Yeah. $2.50, $3 on eBay. Not the case with opening day. And I'm like, I'll put this in the quarter box. I'm like, wait a second. I have experience with pulling an opening day short print out of a quarter box that turned into a $200 payday. I'm going to check in on this. Sure enough, this is a short print image variation. Now, short prints in opening day are like super short prints. I looked up Jose Altuve, nothing on eBay. I look up sold listings, nothing on eBay. I'm like, okay, that means it's freaking rare. Guess what? Jacob deGrom. How are there 2 opening day short prints in this box? What in the hell? So some of these sell for upwards of $200. There's no comps on deGrom or Altuve. Some have sold for like $50. I think I'm going to list these for 125 or best offer and just kind of see what comes in. But opening day short prints are super rare and pretty collectible. They go for a high dollar. So I pulled those out and I'm like, oh shit, those go in the eBay pile. I'm like, I better go to the other opening day because I flipped through a bunch of opening day and I think there were some cards and I'm like, I think this might be a short print. But I went through opening day. This is 2015 because I like that design. 2016, I did not have any short prints from 2016 opening day. Sometimes there's cards that you just, again, sometimes luck is involved. Lauren Shahadi, it just looks like a quarter box insert, sells for about $10. I saw somebody post on Twitter just yesterday, in fact. They're like, how did this card sell for $15? And I'm like, holy shit. And sure enough, I came through a bunch of those MLB Network cards. So those go in the eBay pile. I haven't even looked comps at this, but I know Pat McAfee cards sell. So this is 2016 Donruss, Pat McAfee. That's probably, it's not his rookie card. I think his rookie is in 2015 Topps. So that probably still, I'm assuming based on the comps on his 2015 Topps, I'm guessing that's a $5 to $10 card. These, I don't know anything about these, but I know at one time these were selling for a decent amount. Barack Obama, this is from 2009 Upper Deck Philadelphia football. There were actually like 4 or 5 Barack Obama cards. So I don't know if these are going to be like dollar box cards or if they're going to be eBay cards. I've got to look them up. Willie Nelson is a seller. This is from Panini Golden Age. It's a mini. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to put him. Look that up. One of the hottest football players this year, mainly because he's dating Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce, and this is serial numbered out of 299 from Topps Valor. So I'm thinking that might be a $5 to $10 card as well. So that's just a small example of some of the stuff that as I was sorting, I was pulling and setting aside. This will be stuff that goes on eBay. I have the good box. I haven't even dug through with the exception of the one row. I still have 3/4 of that box to look through. So that's how I attacked sorting this bulk buy. Was I'm going to, sit down in one sitting and one sitting and, here's my build the quarter boxes. Here's the quarter boxes. Here's dollar boxes. Here's Cubs. Here's eBay. And the rest goes into bulk because not everything went into each particular row. I think I filled a box and a half, a 5-row and a half of just bulk, just commons from Topps, from whatever sets. There were some all of the archives I'll be listing on eBay because those sell pretty well. The Gaudy and Goodwin Champions I didn't look through because I'm going to, I want to look because some of those have some value. So some of those are other cards that I, set aside. Where are we at? Shane says that is more common than I thought. Cards getting sold at full price after sending an offer is the greatest thing. I love it when that happens. Peep says opening day was so cool. I really miss it. I don't. I'm a big league fan. I'm glad Topps went with big league over opening day. I was not an opening day fan. I like stumbling upon these hidden gems in, some of my bulk buys. But I was not a fan of the set of opening day. I like big league. Value Box Digger says, are you listing soccer and hockey from the surprising? Actually, there was hockey. There were there were maybe 2 small piles of hockey. I think the guy that I bought him from, I think he was just in a pinch and wanted a rip. So I think he ripped a couple blasters or something. There were some hockey, no soccer, but there were some hockey cards. I took the stack. This is how I handle hockey and soccer. I just take the stack and I put it in a quarter box. So, because even if I did go through it, I wouldn't know what, I certainly wouldn't be able to identify short prints or anything like that. So actually I covered the second and third point because my third point was, where do they go? How do you know? How do you know which boxes they go? And this is probably the toughest question. I get asked this more so at shows when I'm set up with my boxes. What's up, TD Sports Cards? Good morning to you. Well, how do you know? Like when you buy, they're like, first off, the question, usually the conversation starts like, man, do you open a lot? Do you open a lot of packs? No, not really. Where do you get all this stuff? And I'm like, well, I buy from that guy and guys on the internet and wherever. I just source it from anywhere I can get it. I'm paying like a penny, 2 cents a card usually. And they're like, well, how do you know what it's worth? It's like, well, if I can get it for a penny, and if it's mostly quarter stuff, it's kind of an easy sell. If there's a lot of like Topps 2017 flagship, that's a little harder sell because I can't move most of that at a quarter. So then it's like that increases your price. So, if you take out half of those cards, you're not paying a penny anymore. You're paying a nickel or whatever. So I've just got to identify it. Well, how do you know? I just do. I've been doing this long enough. It's just experience. You can't teach that. Like that's just something. If you want to buy bulk and figure out, oh, that's an opening day short print. A lot of it's dumb luck where you just happen to see a tweet or you just happen to see a cool card like this looks like it might be worth something. And it's an Acuna super short print worth $200 that you paid a quarter for. Sometimes luck happens and you take that knowledge and you apply it to your future sorting and buying. And when you go through bulk boxes, you now have an understanding. Oh, I'm looking, opening day short prints. I had that. You have that in the back of your mind. Oh, I had an opening day super short print that sold for $200. These might be worth something more than $1, right? So you take past experience and apply it to future. You have to keep your memory bank full. And when you see something, use that so you can apply it. When you see a tweet, Lauren Shahadi, $15, like, hey, that's a card that I can usually find in bulk boxes. Or if nothing else, a quarter box. If that's a $15 card and it's in a quarter box, I'm going to buy it. So now I have that knowledge. Pat McAfee, another one, like, oh, I wouldn't have think a 2016 base Pat McAfee could be a $5, $10 card. So you just take that knowledge and apply it when you pick up these bulk buys, or if you're digging through quarter boxes and dollar boxes. And the thing is, not every, the Ronald Acuna short print, pulled it out of a 25-cent box. I sold it for $200 like a few days later. I bought that from a dealer who bought that from another dealer. So it went through two dealers' hands, and I really didn't know what it was. I knew it was a gold cup, so I thought it's probably a $5 card. I took a picture of like the cards I got for a quarter each, thinking like the Danny Cannell autograph was a good buy at a quarter. And somebody goes, there's a $400 card, because I think one had sold. I don't know if it was an accurate sale, but one had sold for like $400. So mine sold. I think mine was listed for $250 and I sold it for $200 on a best offer. So so there's stuff we miss. Like I missed stuff. I missed a Klay Thompson during the boom, Klay Thompson Prism rookie. I didn't know it was a rookie. It was a $50 card. Somebody pulled it out of my quarter box. So just because you have knowledge on some of this stuff doesn't mean there could be stuff that I overlooked. There might have been another short print in there, super short print or whatever that I overlooked, and it's in there. And it's going to be in my quarter box this weekend because I don't know everything. None of us do. So we all can miss stuff. Value Box Digger says, bring bulk hockey to your Madison show. You will have a dealer there wanting to trade. Oh, I'll bring some hockey. Let's see. Also, what's the Cubs count on TCDB? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's go to TCDB. I haven't added too many. I have not added too many cards on Trading Card Database over the last couple days. I've logged 8,172 total Cubs cards. That's duplicates included. Let's add TCDB to the stage. So here I am. Here's my collection. So 7,910 of them are Chicago Cubs, 203 Myrtle Beach Pelicans, and so on and so forth. So I have 2,639 unique Cubs cards, and that ranking is now at 286. And look, it's doing that wacky thing where there's it's listing 4 users at a time. So I'm currently ranked 286th amongst other TCDB users. So I think I did add this one. I got this in the mail yesterday. Orange refractor auto of Adon Sanchez. I now have how many? 27 of his 47, I think. I just randomly started collecting Adon Sanchez. Let's see. I have 38 total Adon Sanchez. I have 26 of his 47 cards. And I think I have a couple still in transit. Let's see. James says Allen and Ginter has a lot of those cards that are sneaky. Yes, they do. Tony Hawk, Manny Pacquiao, Gary V, cryptocurrency, that disc golf player. Oh, that's like, what's that noise? Let's see. Value Box Digger says that Bitcoin was one of those. Oh, I didn't know this card is worth $200. It used to be during COVID. Now it went down. Yeah, the egg was a big card. I think it's like a $5 card now. But still, I mean, it's basically a common. Flawed Thinker bought another Ryan Zimmerman auto from Whatnot yesterday. Every time I go into a certain auction room, I always ask for Zim. The guy held it for me until I got in. It was nice of him to do that. Very nice. Very cool. So that's what I had for today. I will have some new bargain boxes this Saturday, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. I'll be set up at 7 a.m. So if you're an early bird, you are welcome. Come upstairs. I'll be in the back corner of the Capitol Ballroom. I'll have 25-cent boxes and dollar boxes. I'll also have some supplies. My supply guy, Paul, will not be set up this weekend. So I'll have penny sleeves, card savers, and top loaders. Boom, boom, boom. And quarter boxes, dollar boxes. So see me this Saturday, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel. Hit up my eBay store. Some of these cards will be listed in my eBay store. Visit 99centcards.com. Or you can click on the link in the description to this video. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price, and you'll get 25% off at checkout. There may be, hint, hint, an upcoming Black Friday sale in my eBay store. So be aware. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back at it. So programming note, we will be back live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. I'll tell you what I had for dinner at Sardine. We'll be back at it. I will go live Thursday morning. I'm planning on doing a normal 7 a.m. time on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Friday morning, there will not be a Hobby Evolution. So, man, that's going to be 2 weeks in a row of no Name That Player. So Friday, I had to leave. I had to run up. My wife was sick. She's had like a stomach bug or something. So she was, even yesterday, she was just kind of sluggish. So that's why I had to run upstairs and help her. But she's doing okay. So we did not get to play Name That Player. We won't play it again this week. So hopefully next week. And then, of course, Saturday, there will not be Hobby Evolution because of the Madison Card Show. So we will review the Madison Card Show and Thanksgiving on Sunday morning. We'll pack a lot into Sunday morning's show. So have a great day. As Shane says, have a great day, everybody. Like, subscribe, and we will talk again tomorrow morning.